I have our client-facing statuses. I know a lot of you have been asking about this. So the client-facing status, if I toggle it on, this means that when I create a job, I want a status to automatically pop up on the job itself. So for example, um, the client will see this, it kind of copies this over. The client will see this, which is perfectly fine. I do want my client to see this. And I want the status to say planned, because if they're sitting on stage 1, nothing has happened yet other than them receiving maybe an engagement letter. So you can modify the information that's on here. This, for example, says the job is scheduled for upcoming work. Expect updates about the start date and initial progress soon. So this is just a template. You don't have to have this. You can say something, please sign engagement letter soon. That's it. That's all I wanted to say, right? And you can save that template. And let's see, let's open this back up. Here it is. All right, so if I did that, I'm going to create a job here, and Katie's going to be my client.
For job statuses, I do recommend putting a why, not just a what they need to do, but why they need to do it. So for that example, I would put, please sign engagement letter so we can begin your tax preparation, or
Right.
begin your tax preparation, we need you to sign your engagement letter, something like that, because if they don't have a why, they're not going to care.
Right. These statuses, you can predetermine them in the template section. You can add as many statuses as you'd like, okay? And you can modify them as you'd like. So notice right now that this says like a default thing called almost starting. That's like the default that shows up on here. But now that we actually created a template, I am going to go to that template. Remember, we called it Individual Tax Return 2025. So once you select it, notice that everything on here gets filled out automatically. May 31st, the description, the client-facing status. And if this case you want to edit this even further, you can, or you can choose another status here, and then click on add. And yes, I want to move this account to my stage number 1. So every time that you create a job, this is going to pop open, and it's just going to show you the information that was filled out here. And it's going to show you on the right side what is pending, right? So this is how you manage, client-facing statuses. You want to add that initially in the job template so that you never really have to worry about it again. Now, if you want to, I'm going to go back to pipeline and say something like, when it hits the next stage, what I want to happen is change the client-facing status. So once they move to stage number 2, I want to click on Add Automation, Update Client-Facing Status, and I want to do something like, I want to keep it in progress, but I want to change this. So please fill out the organizer so we can continue with your tax prep. Something like this, right? So the status is the same. It's just the verbiage message that changed, and I can have it change on every single stage if I need to, or I'm going to have it stay like that and have it change when it hits, missing information. If anybody has missing information, I'm going to add a client-facing status that says on hold. You have something to fill out, please fill it out so we can continue. So that way the client has a status, and that's all they can see, by the way. Everything that we've just covered, your client can only see the job name, okay? The job name itself, like this, and the status, the client-facing status. That's all they can see. So everything else is internal, and everything else is managed by you. So again, using a template, a job template, is going to be super, super easy. So now that when I add a job, I'm just going to look for that template that I just created, and everything's going to be filled out for me. Any questions so far of, the job templates here?
Let me look really quick.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like that there are any.
Okay, perfect.
One thing I'd like to point out about